1985 Mexico City Earthquake by Jared Nachman. Mexico is located in North America. The United States is to the north, and Central America borders the south. The Gulf of Mexico is to the east, and the Pacific Ocean is to the west, and Mexico City is where the earthquake happened. From the 1985 Mexico City earthquake, the latest records say 10,000 people were killed, and even more were injured. Along with the 50,000 people seriously injured, over 250,000 people were left homeless. Many people were found alive in debris days after the earthquake happened. Along with the 50,000 people seriously injured, over 250,000 were left homeless. Many people were found alive in debris days after the earthquake happened. Mexico City is not a rare spot for earthquakes. Many earthquakes happen there because Mexico City is located on top of a lake that was drained many years ago. The sediments below the city allow seismic waves from earthquakes to cause great damage to the buildings and structures. The faults that this earthquake was created at are the Cocos Plate and the North American Plate. This gap is also known as the Malaysian Seismic Gap. What happened was the Cocos Plate was pushing against the North American Plate, and finally, the Cocos Plate subducted under the North American Plate, and that's how the earthquake was created. The Mexico City earthquake happened on September 19th, 1985, at about 7:19 in the morning. When the earthquake hit the city, it was an 8.1 magnitude on the Richter scale. There was also an aftershock on September 20th that was 7.8 in magnitude on the Richter scale. After the 1985 Mexico City earthquake, there were many buildings that suffered damage. The train systems were closed for days after the earthquake due to fear of electrocution. There were many buildings that totally collapsed, and many more were severely damaged from the Mexico City earthquake. When the 1985 Mexico City earthquake hit, the government made a slow response. The president refused international help and made the victims wait longer for help. Some citizens made their own rescue organization to help the people who were hurt. The slow response resulted in a slow process to rebuild the city. Some people didn't have power or gas back until 6 months after the earthquake. When the Mexico City earthquake in 1985 happened, there was a lot of chaos. Now Mexico City has done a lot of preparation in case of a huge earthquake that happens again. In Mexico City, there are regular earthquake training drills and places to go to learn what to do if there is an earthquake. During the Mexico City earthquake, there were many people buried in debris. After the earthquake, many people were found, and there are many stories told. There is a story called Miracle Babies, and it is about babies that were found in debris days after the earthquake and were found alive. There was one story called Miracle Babies, and it is about babies that were found debris after the earthquake and were found alive. The Mexico City earthquake was one of the most destructive in history. There were many aftershocks within a few months of the big one. The earthquake was a big event in the history of Mexico. Many people were injured, and it will always be remembered.